everyone, it's Bree. I'm back with another scrapbook process video for SpiegelMom Scraps, and I'm super excited to share this one with y'all today. I'm going to be doing quite a bit of mixed media. It's a simple kind of page, but I do some mixed media on it basically. Alright, so I've got some texture paste, and I'm adding some Shimmers Vibe in Jenny V Blue to change up the color a bit. I kind of had an idea of what I wanted, and I wanted some color instead of the usual white. I just wanted to try something a little different and a little fun. So I have this stencil from Simon Says Stamp. Let me see if I can get the name of it. It is Flower Pattern Stencil. Simon Says Stamp had like a sale a few weeks back, and I got it for like $1, and I was super excited. I love stencils so much. Okay, so I have just mixed in the color with my texture paste, and I am applying it on the stencil. And I wanted, in the beginning, I had thought that my layout was going to be from the top, kind of going down to the bottom of the page, like in like a funnel shape, you know, like starting off pretty wide and then coming down pretty narrow. It does change up a bit, as you'll see, but this is what I was going for at this time. And I'm currently using my new Tonic Glass Media Matte. I think that's what it's called. I have been on the fence about this matte for a while because I do, you know, I have another like non-stick matte and then just my usual self-healing matte, the gray one that you always see. That's what I've been using, and I was unsure about the glass because I really don't cut on it or like I use like my trimmer basically. So I've been on the fence, and then I got some birthday money and I just got it on Amazon for a really good deal, and I'm pretty pleased with it. This was me basically trying it out for the first time, and the right side was like the non-stick part, so I was able to put the texture paste on there and then wipe it up pretty easily. So yeah, so far so good. So anyways, okay, so after I had applied all of my texture paste on the stencil and after it dried, I said, oh my gosh, you didn't even add your gesso. So I added it here, and it was kind of a good thing that I didn't, because the blue ended up being a little more brighter than I wanted it to be. So I just added gessos, it's not plural. I added gesso with my knife, or my palette knife, and then I smudged it a little bit with my fingertips to help white out some of the blue so it wasn't so in your face. I wanted it a little more toned down because I did have a plan of adding more color to it, and I didn't want it to be too much of a mess. So I do like how it came out with me adding the gesso back on top of my paste. So I'm going to go in with some color here, and I have some shimmers in Pip Pip Cherry-O, and it's just the like most richest and prettiest pink ever. It's like a legit cherry color. So I put that on my little matte. I took off the nonstick matte, and then under it is glass. And I know you guys have probably known all about it because this has been out for quite some time. But for those of you who don't, that's, you know, a little tidbit about it. So yeah, I went ahead and put some Pip Pip Cherry-O on my mat, and then I'm just going to bring the color over, and I'm going to spray lots of water to get the color moving, and then to, yeah, just to help spread it out a little bit. Because I didn't do any of the packaging technique, I'm just basically painting on the color. It's a little more controlled, and I had an idea of what I wanted, but then again, I really didn't. It was kind of nice just to go in and play with some paints and to get creative and a little messy. So I added the Pip Pip Cherry-O in 3 different areas, and then I'm going to move on to another color. And of course, I'm impatient. So I have to sop up some of the color so it can dry a little faster. And then I'm going in with another shimmers. This is a Spritz, and the color is Tuscan Sun. And this is really pretty yellow. And I sprayed a little bit to get it going, and then I added some color onto my the glass part and sprayed some water to help get it moving as well. I'm doing some splatters. It was just really fun creating. And then if you can tell, my lights are a little different. I did get some studio lights, and I'm super excited for those. They make me so happy. I feel a little official, I guess you can say, to be able to have those lights. So I got some birthday money, and I got it from my mom and my dad. And totally got the mat and some lights, and I don't know. I'm super excited to have it. And I just love how it looks. Okay, enough about my stuff. I'm just happy. Okay, so I went in with Vibes Frostbite, another one of probably top 3 favorite colors of shimmers. I will always use Frostbite. And it's just a gorgeous blue. And I'm going to be using, I don't think I've mentioned this yet, I'm going to be using the Whimsical collection by Paige Evans with Pink Paisley. And these colors match perfectly with it. All right, so I did want to add some purple, and that's a Shimmer's Vibes in Princess. It's just really pretty. I know the blue and the pink kind of already merged or blended together and made a purple, but I wanted it a little more prominent, so I added some of the Princess. So I'm just painting it around, adding some liquid to help blend it a little bit more, and then I'm using my heat tool to speed up the drying process. And then drinking some coffee. And here is where I'm kind of deciding on how I want my layout to be. Like, I think this is where I flip it. Yeah, I liked this better. I just wanted a cluster and nothing too crazy since my background was already so much and since it was so vibrant. But the Whimsical collection is super colorful and so much fun. I love this collection. Like, every collection that Paige comes out with, I am in love with. Oh, it's so much. It's so pretty. And I originally, a lot of the embellishments in the Whimsical collection are craft related or creative related. And I wanted to do a photo of myself. I was inspired by Missy Whidden. I think this was like a week or 2 ago that she had done a layout with the same collection about being creative. And she just did a layout about herself. And I thought that would be cool because I don't, we don't really scrapbook ourselves, or I don't. And I don't really have too many photos of me by myself. So I originally wanted to do that, but this layout kind of came together as, I don't know, more whimsy and dreamlike, that I thought that I could save all of those cool craft embellishments for a different layout. Okay, so as I was talking, I backed my tiny little photo with some 6x6 paper from the collection. It's this rainbow paper with some, I think it's like copper foiling. And then I pulled out some of the clouds from the ephemera pack and then some butterflies. And then I've also punched some circle shapes from the same paper that I backed my photo with. I don't end up using that. I was going to have a cluster of embellishments up in the top right, but I didn't. I just decided just to keep everything where it was. And I'm very pleased with how it came out. So usually I have 2 separate, like a main section, and then I kind of go off on the side or in the corner. But this layout, I didn't, and I'm pretty pleased with how it turned out. But this photo is of me and my dog, Pippa. And because I feel like I haven't scrapbooked her lately, it's all been about Luna and our newest puppy. So I thought she needed a layout, especially one that was with mommy. So that's what I created. That's the photo I chose to create with. And it's just her and I. I was actually outside taking photos of the layout. This was like a few months back. And she was hanging out with me on the patio. And so I snapped a little selfie of her and I. But she's not looking at the camera. So when she's outside, she's on alert. She's on patrol. She has business to do. So I got her to sit still for just a minute to take a photo. Okay, so I am going through the chipboard stickers and pulling a few things. I mainly use the ephemera and the puppy stickers, and I don't think I end up using anything from the chipboard sticker sheet. I did add foam to the back of my photo, but I do end up removing it. It was sticking up too much because of the texture paste. There was already a lot of dimension, and it really wasn't sticking, so I took it off and flattened it out a little bit. And I thought with the clouds, it kind of looked dreamy. Like, that's where it kind of took off in that direction. It didn't go more of the creative thing, like, with the paints and the paintbrush and all that. Since I used the clouds, it kind of looked like a sky kind of scene. And that's why the craft supplies didn't really apply for this specific layout. So I think I'll print another photo of myself and try that again, because I love like all of these tiny little pieces on the thicker chipboard set. They're so cute. And then I want to use up all those 2x2 papers as well, like the little pads. Because I got a lot of the Whimsical collection in my Hip Kit Club kits, but then I also purchased an embellishment kit directly from Paige Evans because I knew that I was gonna love this collection so much. I got a few duplicates so I can use it, but then also have more for other projects that I want to create with it. So I'm working on my title, and it's going to be, as you can know probably from the title of this video, it's going to be Mom's Girl. I wanted to come up with something more cute, but I wanted to use these thickers, and they are fairly large. Or the chipboard thickers are fairly large. So I just kept it simple and just put Mom's Girl so I could use the chipboard thickers as well as these amazing, which I keep talking about, these tiny foam thickers. They're so much fun. They're perfect and they're colorful, and all the colors in this collection are just so much fun. Okay, and I specifically chose that specific stencil from Simon Says Stamped because I was inspired by the sequin mix that you'll see here in just a minute. It's called Elegant Winter, and it has these white sequin flowers on it that are raised and have dimension. They're not raised, but the petals are turned up, so it sits up off the page even more, and it like almost matches the flowers in the stencil perfectly. So when I saw the sequin mix, I was like, oh my gosh, this matches the stencil. I want to use it. So that's where I was inspired, was this flower specifically from the Elegant Winter sequin mix. And you'll see it here in just a second. I'm just adding some extra stickers. I did the tone on tone effect. Is that even what I'm describing it as? So any blue section of my layout, I added a blue cloud and then a blue butterfly, or like a teal butterfly. And any pinks, it had, pinkish or the reddish tones, and of course the purple with the purple clouds and the butterflies. And then I added that cute little dragon, is that a dragonfly, on the pink cloud. And then I've got another pink butterfly on the left. And just adding, I added a heart on the mint colored clouds because I didn't have a mint butterfly. But I thought, the heart could count. And then I did add, while I was talking, I added these little stickers on the bottom of my title. They look like little washi strips, even though they're actual stickers. It's not washi material. So this is the fun part where I get to add my sequins. And then you can see that mix there that I was just talking about that I was inspired by. It's Elegant Winter, and I pulled the little white flowers out of there. And you can't really see them because they are blending in with my white background. But they are there. You'll see them in the close-up. They're super pretty. I love them so much. And I also chose to use another sequin mix, and that's at the top. It's called Tropical Teals, and I ended up using the gold crimped sequins on this because it did match the gold foiling in my pattern paper as well as in the clouds. I thought those were so pretty, and it added that little extra shimmer and shine, and I love it. And then I do add a few mint sequins also from the Tropical Teal collection, or mix. This was so much fun to do. I haven't been able to get in my craft room over the last week or two, and so it was really, really nice to sit down and get creative for a little bit, and then to use some of my new toys in regard to my mat, and then to sit in a well-lit room. It was very nice. And that's it. Don't forget to use my code Brianna15 to save you 15% off of your next order. That's my final layout. Thank you guys so much for watching, for commenting, subscribing, and for thumbs upping my videos. I really appreciate it. I'll be back soon with another layout, and we'll talk to you then. Bye.